so far. And I'm going to be making some hand sounds for you guys. So, where to start? I guess I could begin with telling you guys how much weight I've lost. I've lost 80 pounds as of a couple of days ago. And I started at a little above 260 pounds. 260 pounds. Now, when I was 260 pounds, I think I can honestly say that I felt horrible all the time. I had chronic back and knee pain. I was trying to say back and knee at the same time there. It did not work out. But yeah, I had chronic back and knee pain. And the knee pain was actually directly caused by my weight gain. And I say that because I had gained so much weight and I was living such a sedentary lifestyle that all I did was I went to squat down to grab something off of the floor, and one of the muscles in my knee, into my leg. This is sort of a trigger warning for everybody. So if you're not comfortable hearing this, just skip forward like an extra minute or so, maybe 30 seconds. But in my left knee, the muscle in my calf, the larger one that runs up your fibia, on the inner side of the fibia, it tore. It made this terrible popping sound. I think it's the most pain I've ever felt in my entire life. It was horribly painful. And that was sort of my wake-up call that I needed to begin losing the weight. And the worst part is, I didn't even start losing the weight until I didn't even start to try losing the weight until months after that. Oh, sorry, I sort of bumped the table there a little bit. My apologies. But, yeah. It was a couple months after that I really started to begin trying to lose weight. So like I said, the heaviest that I actually weighed myself was 260 pounds. I'm not sure how much that is in kilograms. I think it's 125 kilograms or something close to that. If you guys are a kilogram person. But, sorry, I sort of lost my train of thought there. But yeah, I had the back pain, I had the knee pain, and it was only very recently that those sort of started to begin going away. Because at first I wasn't all about exercising. The first thing I did was I just stopped eating fast food as much. I didn't completely stop eating fast food, but I really lowered my intake on it by quite a lot. And I started adding in some more healthy fats and carbohydrates like I said before, I was only focused on the diet aspect, and I wasn't really focused on the muscle building aspect, which, now that I'm looking back on it, I wish that I had began my strength and flexibility training as I first started, but I am just happy that I started at all in general, you know? Just happy to have started in general. Truly. One of the biggest things for me was cutting out liquid calories. Liquid calories. I was drinking a lot of non-diet soda and juice. I'm not saying that juice is bad or anything, but if you get juice with all the sugar and stuff in it, I'm not talking on sugar or anything. If you like sugar, eat as much sugar as you'd like, but a lot of juices are high in calories. So I switched to like 0 sugar juices and Diet Cokes. I'm actually gonna open this really quick. I'm gonna open it really far from the mic. I don't want it to be super loud. Take a little sip here. Does that make like sort of a nice sound when I get it close to the mic there? Soda sounds. But yeah, I was talking about my diet. When I first began, I was eating a lot of salads. Actually, mostly salads. I really didn't try any of like the fad diets or anything like keto or carnivore or any of those types of things. I mostly just tried to eat a lot of some people call them filler foods. So it's just foods with like a high volume, but they don't have a lot of calories in them. I could go ahead and tell you a couple of the snacks that I enjoyed. One that I really like is watermelon, like cubed up, like in cubes, and just put a little bit of lemon and salt and mix the bowl around. It's so good. It is so good. A more savory one is radishes. I love the flavor of radishes personally. A lot of people don't like them, but I really enjoy them. I would chop them really thinly like chips, and I would dip the radish chips into sriracha sauce mixed with some pepper, and oh man, that is so good. It is so good. For a while, I was on this health kick. It was kind of silly, but it was, I would get a big jar of water, like a big glass jar of water, and what I would do was I would put in a couple jalapenos into the water. I'd put a cucumber into the water. All of this would be like chopped up into like sticks, kinda. Let's see, what else did I put in there? I put in the jalapeno. I put in the cucumber. I put some lime juice in there, and I put a tiny bit of salt in it. And I was getting a lot of electrolytes. And I've heard capsaicin is sort of like a metabolism booster. I'm not sure what I'm not entirely sure of that one. I'll have to do some more research on it. But it was something someone told me. And I was like, sure, why not? I'll give it a shot. And it did. The drink did make me feel quite nice. But it was just so much work to do. I had to make one every day because I drink a lot of water. Let's see. So just on that diet, and without really counting my calories, I lost about 30 pounds. And that came off in about 2 to 3 months, if I remember right. The 30 pounds came off in about 2 or 3 months. But then after that, it started to become much more difficult to start losing weight, and I hit a sort of plateau. So after that, I sort of stuck to that same type of diet, and I just added in cardio. All I did was add in cardio, and with the cardio and no calorie counting, I lost like another 15, and that took me like another 2 or so months, maybe 3 months. I can't quite remember exactly. But yeah, all I did was add in cardio. But then again, I hit another plateau, and I stayed that same weight for like a month. I was stuck at like 230 pounds forever. For like a whole month, I'd say. And if any of you guys have ever been like on a weight loss journey, you know how depressing those plateaus can be. So then I started to do a lot more research on what I should be doing. Like I said before, I really tried to avoid the fad diets and things because they're very extreme. Very extreme. But for a little while there, I got onto like the intermittent fasting type thing. So I did the 16-8. So so I wouldn't eat for 16 hours of the day, and then for the other 8, I would eat regularly. And then adding that in along with the cardio and the previous diet, I got out of that plateau that I previously mentioned. I was able to get out of that plateau that I previously mentioned. And I lost, I think it was like maybe another 10 or 15 pounds. I got down to like 215. Then I was stuck there for another long while. And then I discovered the calories in, calories out formula. And I found my BMR and my TDEE. Is it TDEE? Let me think. I can't quite remember. Total. Oh my goodness, I can't remember exactly what it is. But it's essentially how much your body burns per day. How many calories your body burns per day. If you include, the steps you take and like general movements, like what I'm doing with my hands right here. Anything you might regularly do in a day. And I discovered that exercise, even intense exercise at the max is exercise. And I thought that was crazy. That was crazy. Thought that was pretty crazy. So, for the past year or so, I have been, excuse me, I have just been eating at my BMR, and the BMR is about 500 calories below. Oh goodness, your DDEE. Oh my goodness, my fridge just kicked on. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, it's about 500 calories below your DDEE. And if you want to avoid, this is what I've heard, I'm not like a professional or anything, but if you want to avoid losing muscle mass along with fat, then you should realistically only be eating 500 calories below that DDEE, which, as far as I understand it, seems to be your BMR. I think that stands for basal metabolic rate. The way I heard it explained is it's essentially the amount of calories your body needs to keep the lights on, to keep everything running smoothly, and to keep you running without having any deficiencies. And I have been at a really healthy weight loss of around about 1 to 2 pounds a week. 1 to 2 pounds a week. Every now and again, I'll be stuck at a pound or so for a week or two, but it comes and goes. And that's how I've lost like the last 30 or so, 35 pounds. But more recently, I've been focusing on, I don't really care about fats and carbs. I do try to make sure that I get in healthy fats and healthy carbs. But I do try to make sure that I hit my protein goals. And I try to make sure that I eat some fiber as well. Because I try to get at least 0.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So for me right now, that's 90 grams of protein a day. But I try to hit above that. I try to get like 110, 120 grams of protein per day. Because I began strength training. I should have been doing the protein before, but because that's good for anybody. But it's especially good because I'm trying to gain muscle. I'm trying to gain some muscle mass. I'm super proud of myself because recently I was able to do 20 push-ups in a row. That was a huge milestone for me. It was a massive milestone for me. I began doing like pike push-ups, all of my exercises, except for a couple that I do with like bands. A couple of them that I do with bands are body weight exercise. And I've got a couple small weights for shoulder isolation exercises. And I use the bands to make my squats heavier because it's really hard to overload the legs. I can do maybe 40 or 50 squats in a row, depending on the day. But that's not good for, oh my goodness, what's the term I'm looking for here? But it's not good for, overloading your muscles. And from the research I've seen, you want to try to stick, if you're trying to gain muscle mass, to that 8 to 12 rep range, and you should be stand on like the middle of the band and get the handles of the bands, and I'll hold them up here. And then I'll do squats like that with those. But it's getting to the point to where that's even getting a little bit easy for me. So here soon I'll probably have to add in the 30-pound. Maybe the 20 or the 10. Depends on how I'm feeling. But yeah, that's pretty much how my weight loss journey has been. And like I said before, I'm so glad that I started. And I feel so much better now. Most days, I'm not in pain. Oh, sorry. Before, when I was like really overweight, I was, there were some days it was so painful just to get out of bed that I would be up, but I would literally be breathless because of how in pain I was. And I could barely walk because of that knee injury that I had. I couldn't walk for weeks. Like, I couldn't walk regularly, I mean to say. Lately I've really been focused on trying to get the strength back in that leg. I'm so glad that the muscle didn't come completely disconnected. I'm so happy, because then I would need like surgery and stuff. But yeah, guys, I think I might go ahead and end the video there. If you guys would maybe like to hear more in detail about my diet and my weight loss journey, more than I've already said, I mean, leave something down in the comments and I'll try to get out another video going more in depth about everything. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. And I hope that wherever you guys might be, wherever you might be, that you're having a nice night, you're having a nice morning, or you're having a nice evening. I'll see you guys in the next one.